What's up everybody, it's me. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be taking out my braids. So I've had my box braids in for about 5 days now, which isn't too long. Honestly, people leave theirs in for months. This whole thing was an experiment. I just wanted to see what it would look like and if I would fall in love with it, what color I would want to do, the whole thing. I didn't do a video on it because I knew it was going to take me so long to do it. I was just really unsure if I even was gonna like it. Like, I don't know, I was so confused. But now that I've had them in 4 or 5 days, I have absolutely fell in love with them. They are just so awesome. I feel like an absolute queen with these braids in. Truly though, I really wanted to use my head as a model pretty much for my beauty page, which if you don't follow me already, I will leave it on the screen here for my beauty Instagram or whatever. I have a ton of tips and tricks and different stuff that I kind of like wrote down in my phone so that I could remember to like tell you guys about, like just different things I've experienced with having the braids while putting them in, kind of like do's and don'ts. I'm gonna go ahead and just spill all the beans while we take out my braids today. Now I have no idea how long it's going to take, but it did take me 10 hours to do all my braids. I have 45 braids in my hair, which honestly, it's really not that many because I didn't do super tiny braids like how you should, which is definitely what I wanted to do. It's just my hair is naturally so thin and weak, I guess you could say. And I just didn't want to put too much stress and too much pressure on my root, like on my scalp. So yeah, that's why they're a little bit thicker. That's why my boxes are bigger, which kind of makes it look, I don't know. I just think if my boxes were littler and more neat, it would be obviously like a better style. It's just, I didn't think my hair could support that much weight, and two, it's really hard to do on yourself. It was tricky to say the least, but I just like sat there with a bunch of mirrors, my front, my back, so I could see like all angles of my head, and I tried my best, but still, they just turned out a little crazy. But I would love to do them again, and I might do a video next time, you know, if I decide to ever put my braids back in. You know what, let's just go ahead and start taking these braids out. It's time. I might end up doing this in a super weird order just because like these ones are kind of pulling like around my face line. And I also want to do like underneath as well. Like underneath in the back is pulling so bad too. So I just want to, yeah, get those out, and then I'll feel so much better about, you know, taking out the rest. So first of all, I need to go change my camera battery. Oh, of course, my camera's always dead. All right, it's time and I'm ready. So let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys through pretty much how I did each braid individually, you know, like product wise and whatnot. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and snip the bottom of the braid. And I'm gonna do that for pretty much every single one, because what I did was, my real hair is like right about like here. After I did the braid, I dipped it in boiling, not like, well, you boil the water first, but you let it cool down like a little bit or whatever. After I braided past my hair, you know, further, then I dipped it in hot water so that it would like kind of straighten the ends and kind of seal it off. And then I just like rubbed nail glue in between. And now most of these look crazy because they've unraveled on the bottom. So yeah, there's less length than I think, so I just have to be careful not to cut my own hair. You know, this one's right in the front too, so for some reason I think the piece is shorter. But yeah, I just like cut off the end. This is gonna be a crazy process, but at the same time, I don't know, it might go fast, and two, I might end up having Chance help me, so if I need his help. Ow! Oh, that hurt so bad. I have blisters and boo-boos on my toes from the shoes I wore the other day. So yeah, this might take me a good bit, but Chance is in like the next room, so if I need his help, then he will come and rescue and help me unbraid. Once I get it going, it'll be fine. So I'm definitely gonna speed up, like you guys don't have to watch me untangle and unbraid every single piece. Now I know there is a couple different methods for sectioning at the root and stuff, and for how you wanna put the braiding hair in. And I researched a lot of them. You know, I just like kind of thought the best one that I kind of liked was one I just kind of like made up myself. I don't know, I tried to follow like a cool pattern in my head, and then it was just like, all of our heads are shaped different, and any picture or any video that I seen or watched or whatever, it's not gonna be the same. So it just, yeah, my sectioning, I got a little bit crazy. I got a little bit out of hand. Things went a little haywire, but it's cool. I evened it back up once I got to the top. For my sectioning, I didn't do any really special method. I just took it like straight across, and then I kind of like divided it in squares from there. I do think I said earlier how I started in the back. I just thought that that would be the easiest, so that the hair up top, I could just have it like in a bun as I worked upwards, you know. When I first did the braid, I don't know if you could picture it, but the hair is like a loop. Actually, if you've seen my feed-in braids video on my YouTube channel, which I can always link above and in the description below or whatever, I use that type of braiding hair, so that's what I'm referencing. I just took like the 2 strands of the hook, like I'm gonna show you here in a second. And now it wasn't curly beforehand, it was straight. It was so much easier to work with. But I just like took it and then used my hair as the 3rd piece and then just braided it in. I definitely did notice with that method that it was like slipping, and that like most of my braids, like especially in the back here, they're pulled down so far, and that's just because I think the way and how I kind of manipulated them into different hairstyles and whatnot. Yeah, they just like slid down my root, and that just like doesn't look clean. It looks like they're grown out. So even with this piece of hair, it looks crazy, but you can see my color combo. I just like pulled those different pieces, and like this is the amount that I put in each braid, I would say. I just combed these ones out, and I don't know if I want to comb them out or not because they're so pretty. And they feel good, like they feel moisturized. It feels like I took care of them, which I really did. I really did. Before I even thought about doing my braids, I really made sure that I conditioned them and took super good care of my hair. Like I would say my hair is or was in pretty healthy condition before the braids. I don't think it would have done too much damage in 5 days with this many braids. It would just be like the weight thing and maybe like pulling some of my hairs out. I did go ahead and comb these out and no hairs even came out of them, so I don't know. The morning of doing these braids, I jumped in the shower, of course, and I didn't braid wet. I let my hair air dry after my shower. In the shower, I moisturized my scalp first with a keratinized shampoo. I forget which kind it is. I think it's Kenra something rather. Then I clarified my scalp with my tea tree shampoo, and then I conditioned with my Invisible Wear conditioner. Even after my cream rinse, I went ahead and used my Strengthening Grow Long hair mask by Marc Anthony, and it worked so well. It's to strengthen and protect with caffeine and ginseng. It's an anti-breakage mask. I've used it plenty of times. I just have like the sample size, but seriously, there's enough in here that I've used it multiple times and I just love it. I figured this was the perfect amount of like nourishment that my hair would need before I did the braids, so that's what I went ahead and used. So whenever it was time to braid my hair, and after I would section like a box, I only did one at a time. I thought that way it would just be easiest to make sure no little hairs get tangled in, you know, to a part that they're not supposed to be in or whatever. I just figured it would be neater that way. And it was. Honestly, it was super easy. It just took a little bit longer, I guess you could say. Rather than getting a ton of boxes prepared ahead of time and like sectioning them off, I just would do like one at a time, like kind of sort of. I would do like the column and then just like box it from there. So yeah, I was just kind of like all over the place, and whatever worked per braid I did. Especially not being able to see the back of my head, I would just like guess on what I was doing back there and I would just like braid or whatever. The first thing I did per braid was put my Con Man in. Con Man is one of my favorite products ever. I just am absolutely in love with it. I just can't handle it. I fell in love with it at work. I'm in like a men's hair salon right now, but I really enjoy what I do. It's advertised for men's hair, but truly, I mean, it's for everybody. It doesn't matter. It just kind of has a manly smell, but it smells super yummy. Con Man's a leave-in conditioner, and it's pretty much just a hair moisturizer. I mean, guys can use it on their beards and stuff, so it just like, it doesn't have to just be for your hair, you know? It's just an overall good moisturizer. And it looks like slime. I think it's so funny. They call it hair pudding. I've heard the girls at work say before that you could do like a night hair mask with Con Man. Just like put it through all over and wrap your hair up and sleep like that or whatever. And I never tried it. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I put it root to end and then just put my hair in braids, and it just feels so good. This is how my ends feel whenever I just use Con Man on the regular. When I did this braid, it was way too thick, and then I was like looking at it after I did it, and I just thought, like, I'm leaving it, because this was one of the last braids that I did after I did my whole head and I was just over it. It's kind of been annoying me since it just hangs in my face and it's the fattest braid of all. So I'm excited to get it out. Hey, do you wanna help?
Are you hungry though?
I'm kind of hungry, yeah. Grab a braid.
Nah. Where? I wanna hurt you.
You're not gonna hurt me. Here, look, you have to go like this.
No, that's real hair.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
Because I remember exactly where my hair is at, and plus you can kind of see it. Teamwork makes dream work. What are we gonna eat?
Curvers is the time right now.
Ooh, what time is it? I'm gonna paint on her face like I'm Doodle Bob. Jump and what's up? What? What's funny? I just want to get the ones out on my hairline and then we can go get food. Me and Chance were hungry, so we went out and we got food and we just came back. So I'm back in business. I just re-lip glossed. We're ready to go. Back to the topic of when I braid my hair, you know, like for a single strand, what I did and all that. I also used the product called El Rey. Now El Rey is also from my work. It's like a sister product to Calm-In, and it smells really good. I would say it has like a similar smell to Calm-In, and it just has a really cool and unique hold. And I figured since it's the same brand and they both kind of have that gel-like consistency, that it would just like work really well together, and I definitely think that they did. With El Rey, I used it on my roots up here to like smear it on like the square, I guess you could say, and then like down through the braid as well, or just like on my hair at first, and then like as I was braiding I was also adding it in. Another product that I used whenever I was braiding my hair is the Reformer. I think it's by Mitch. It is decently creamy. I wouldn't say it's overly creamy, and you have to really emulsify it whenever you use it to get that creamy consistency. It was just another product that I own, and I thought I think that would work really well with my braids, and that's what I used, and it turned out really well. I used that product on my ends where my real hair stopped at the braid and I needed to like tuck it in and keep it sleek at the same time, so that, you know, I could like keep braiding further with the braiding hair. And I would just like take some of that pomade, rub it in between my fingers, rub it on my ends, and that was just like perfect. Okie dokie then. Another product that I used was the Gibbs Beard and Face Oil. Now, if you've been watching me for a little bit now on YouTube, I have used their beard, face, and tattoo oil as face primer. It's like so multi-use, but I just fell in love with that product, and I can't find it, but I did end up using it on the ends of my braids. So that was another thing. Before I used the pomade on my ends to kind of like smooth them, I would take my Gibbs oil and just kind of like squirt it right onto my thumb and like my pointer finger, and then I would like braid it into it as well. And that was so that my ends were well nourished, I guess you could say, and like not dry, especially, you know, having them in braids for like 5 days. And I didn't want them to get too brittle, so that's what I ended up doing. And then also every single night and every morning I used a little mix that I made myself. It was just water, and I have like a coconut keratin oil that I like to put in my hair, usually after the shower. Not always, but if I'm straightening it, I'll put like an oil in. And it's like a big dropper. I might have even showed it on my channel before, I don't know. I just put that into a spray bottle with just like a little bit of water, shook it up, and just like sprayed my root. I made sure that my roots were like nice and like moisturized, and my ends as well, so I would go around my braids on the bottom and of course across the top. I just took time to count these and I have 25 left, so we're almost halfway through-ish. Yeah, halfway-ish. This braid has been bothering me the most. Seriously, it hurts so bad. I can't wait to get it out. I have like 2 more twists. So much of the other hair is in the way. Well, guys, we're getting there. Progress. I mean, it's pretty much just like the right side of my head at this point. I definitely have a couple in the backs too, but yeah, I'm getting closer and closer. Okay. Whew. Brand new camera battery. We are back and we are better. What's going on? What's cracking? I'm not naked. I have a tank top on. That's actually a sports bra. I don't know, I kind of wanted to backtrack and go back to talking about the positive and negatives of this style. One other negative that I thought of while I was unbraiding was sleeping. The sleeping situation is a little crazy because of course whenever my hair is all down, it's just like I can lay however, and it's so nice. So it's definitely different. I didn't have a problem with sleeping really too much. I slept with a scarf on. The silk scarf definitely helped a ton to keep, you know, the frizz down and keep my braids like neat. The first night I did these braids, I kind of slept like sitting up with like pillows behind me on my bed, and that was just because I wanted to really make sure that I kept them nice and neat for Saturday, because Saturday was the wedding that Chance and I went to, and that was my only goal. Like, I just wanted them to be nice for that, and the day I did them was Wednesday. Yeah, I did them on Wednesday, and the reason I did that is because it worked out with my work schedule perfectly. It was like Wednesday I was off and Thursday I was off. Wednesday I would start them, and then I figured Thursday I could finish them up if I had to, and that's when I got my nails done on Thursday, and then Friday I had work. And then Saturday was our trip, and they stayed very, very nice. Really, I never had to put any product on my root. I was thinking I was gonna have to like hairspray or something like that, or I was even thinking that my scalp might get really greasy. That happens to me way too frequently. Like, my scalp always gets greasy quick. 2, though, I only had these in for 5 days, like I was saying, so it feels so good on my roots, like the feeling of not having these braids in. It's still like my hair is kind of tense, so I'm trying not to touch it. And of course, I am doing this style on straight hair anyway, so this isn't super ideal to keep in for longer than, you know, a month or so for me. I was listening to music while I was doing this, but then I figured I would talk to you guys again, so yeah. The positives to having these braids in were that I never had to do my hair. It was beautiful. And to kind of get them out of my face because they kind of just came out, because originally I tucked them like straight into my braid. I made sure it was like super sleek, but a couple nights sleeping and they were just like poking out, so I just decided to swirl them a couple times. Another positive about this hairstyle is the fact that you don't see your hair, of course, and you can't like pull on it, you can't brush it. Of course, it's tucked away. So whenever your hair does start to grow, depending on how long you have this style in, you just like see the growth. And 2, your hair is protected depending on the amount of braiding hair that you use. I do think it's an overall healthy style. Besides it pulling at the root, it's just like you have to use the right weight for your texture of hair, I think. I'll be halfway through like one braid and then I'll just like start another braid. But it makes me feel good because then I'll go back to the other braid that I started first and I'm like, oh, I don't have much left to do. Another thing that I just love about braids is, not just these type of braids, any type of braids, is you can kind of like camouflage different color hair into yours, or you could even kind of cover your natural hair color really with like whatever color you want. And even like with how I did blonde in here, I didn't use a lot of blonde at all. Like, I hardly used any blonde in each piece, and it was just like so bright, and I really liked it, and it's just like a cool, easy way that you really don't have to color your hair. You know, it's just like a temporary thing. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the price of the braiding hair that I paid, at least, was $3.99 I think, so $4, whatever, a pack. And I got mine from Sally's just because I didn't think Cosmoprof had it. And of course they have like the real jumbo braid, I guess you could say, like the real hook hair that you could do these braids with as well. I just went with the cheaper stuff because I knew I was only keeping mine in for a few days. I have about 11 braids left, so that's good. That's so good. I can't wait to get them all out. If you guys haven't already, I will go ahead and link my personal Instagram and my Twitter on the screen here, and I will also leave it in the description box below. I absolutely love doing my own hair. It's just difficult not seeing it from the whole head perspective, you know what I mean? I can't see it from 3D perspective. I don't even know what to say, like from an outside perspective anyway. But if you guys do want to see some hair tutorials, like this video, comment below if you feel like it, and I will definitely make some more. I think this is my last braid. This is it. So my hair is crazy big right now, but I didn't even like rub my roots or anything just yet. They're like still super tight, and I bet like my whole scalp is still in boxes because I've like hardly touched it. Oh, my head is like kind of sore, but not really. It just feels so good to have my braids out. So I would say about 10 hours to put them in, 5 hours to take them out. Definitely make sure that you have enough time on your hands if you decide to do this style and or take them out, so that you don't have to like go anywhere with half of your hair all crazy or whatever. So breakage wise, so far I haven't noticed a lot at all. Like every single braid, it felt like it was just the braiding hair coming out. I really didn't notice a whole lot of my own hair coming out with it. I'm thinking I probably just have to brush it, and once I brush it, it'll definitely loosen up, and the hairs that are probably stuck in the wave will probably fall out. I don't know though. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know the dealio. Hit the like button, subscribe if you feel like it, and I will catch you guys next time.